So back in late October of 2025, I was contacted by someone that wanted a commission file done, and they wanted a commemorative Christmas ornament for the end of the era of the penny. The 2025 penny, as most of you already know, is the last ones that were ever made. So I went ahead and I did the file. And this is a similar file. This is not the exact file. That's the front. And then this is the back. And I've decided that, you know what, I want to make my own versions as well. So I made a couple of different versions. So that is one version. And then I'll show you how to get these a little later. This is another version. And I actually recreated the pennies. 3 different types of pennies. These are wood. These are wooden pennies. And you're not going to be able to get, the Omega pennies, and you absolutely won't get the final penny that was ever made, because I think there was only a dozen of them that were made to be auctioned, and they're going to go for like millions of dollars. So I went ahead and recreated them. So this is my second version of it, and that's the back. And on the front, all the little steps have text on them. It says, the 3rd Philadelphia Mint, opened 1901, Spring Garden Street. So that's what this one is right here. Now I've got a third one that I'm prototyping, and by the time this video airs, it's going to be ready and in my online store if you guys want to buy it. And somewhere in this video, you'll also get a coupon code for a deep discount where you'll only be spending pennies on it if you want to get all of these files yourself. So I did the Denver Mint penny, and I did the Philadelphia Mint penny, and I did the final penny, which you won't be able to find anywhere, all in SVGs. I also have the image files that I created the SVGs from as well, if you want to actually engrave the exact images and cut them out of wood. So that's what we're doing today. We're finishing the prototype, and I wanted to bring you guys along and offer this file to you for pennies on the dollar. So somewhere in this video, there'll be a coupon code where you can get all of these files for just a few pennies. We may as well just get started. I'm back in my office, so happy. It's been chilly lately, so I've been next door working on the CO2, and now I'm glad to be back in my office. I'm very happy to be back on the diode. And that's what we're going to prototype on today, is the diode laser. So let's get started. Okay, so today I'm going to be working on the Aliencell right behind me. And that is a 40-watt diode laser. I do also have the 60-watt laser module for this. But today, since the 40-watt is more common, I'm going to be using the 40-watt. Let's jump up into the Aliencell software real quick, and I'll show you how I'm going to get this done. So now in the Aliencell software, you see that I started with a prototype about 2 hours ago. I did one, and I've since redesigned it. So I'm not going to use that one. And actually, what I'm going to do is delete this. So I'm going to remove that from my history. And some people have said that they don't like any laser that you require an account for. So I'm just going to show you that. I'm going to sign out right now. And now you can see that I am not signed in. So you do not need an account to use this software. I'm going to come to the very top left, and I'm going to click the plus sign, and that's for add new project. And then typically I would click on this import right over here, but I've got the file right next to me. So I'll just go ahead and grab that file and drag it over into the workspace. And there it is. This is my final prototype here. In order to get this set up on the laser, I do have to do a couple of settings. So as you can see up here, I am connected to the laser. There are no wires going to it. This is completely wireless. It's on my network. So I'm going to pick a material, and I know I'm using basswood or plywood today, and I know it's about 3 millimeters. It's actually 3.5, but I'm just going to confirm the 3 millimeters. So now the distance here is the focus. I'm just going to leave that alone because I don't need to focus if I've already picked my material. It's going to automatically lower to that proper focus. So over here is the project. And if I hold control and roll my mouse wheel, I can zoom in on this. If I press down on my mouse wheel, I can drag the workspace around. Everything is set to the red layer. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to select everything, control and the letter A. I'm going to put it on engrave. And now everything is set to engrave. Now, next thing I'm going to do is right click on the graphic and ungroup it. And now it's all ungrouped and I can come into each different layer. This layer here that I've got selected, I want to put on the cut path. So I'll come over here and put that on cut. And I'm going to do the same thing for all of the other cut paths that I've got. Just very quickly go around this. I like the fact that it lights up when you're over it, so you don't have to keep clicking and clicking and clicking. And you can hold Shift and select both of them at the same time. So here I'll do Shift, I'll hold Shift, and I'll just keep clicking on all the reds and put them on the cut path. So there we go. And everything's done. Oh, there is one more right here in the middle. So if I zoom way in here, pass my mouse up until I get right over that, see it turn red, I'll click on that, put that on the cut path. Okay, that's the last cut path that we need. So you can see here we've got engrave, that's all of the black, and cut is all of the red. So now this software automatically sets all of your settings, and I don't particularly care for that. So I'm just going to click on the left here on the engrave, and I'm going to change my speed and power. So I want my speed to be at, let's say, 550 millimeters per second. And I want my power to be, let's say, 95. That should be a good number right there. Now, if I click on this cut over here on the left, you'll see that the recommended speed is 15 millimeters per second, 100% power. I'm just going to change this to 13 for sake of the video because I know if I leave it at the recommended settings, I'll hit a glue pocket somewhere and it won't come out right. So I'm just going to lower that. And by the way, this 40-watt laser is actually rated for more than 40 watts, but the company chose to advertise it as a 40-watt laser. So if you already have a 40-watt laser, you're probably cutting 3mm plywood at about 11 or 12. You know, this one will cut it at 15. So it is quite a bit more powerful. So now one of the new features in the most recent software is they've moved the tools from up here up to here and over to here, which I like. So now you always, even if you're zoomed way in, you always have access to everything. All right, so now that we've got that done, the next thing I'm going to do is come over here and I'm going to take a snapshot of the laser itself. So I'll click on snapshot, and now you can see what's actually on the laser bed. I've already laid in a piece of plywood and we're ready to get to positioning. So what I'm going to do is start moving things around. I'm going to grab this one and I'm going to put it up here. Oops, I didn't grab it all. I ungrouped it, I forgot. Okay, so let's come over the whole thing like that and regroup this. And now we can move this one up over here. And we're going to do the same thing for this one. We're going to come over this whole piece here and move this up here. And I guess I should probably regroup this as well and do the same thing for this. We'll regroup it. Oh, nope, I hit the other one. Okay, I don't want to touch that other one. All right, we'll go ahead and group this one. And we'll move this one anywhere. It doesn't really matter where I put it. This wood is going to be mostly scrap anyway. I'll do the same thing here. Group. And just move this one up over here. So now if all of my calculations are right, and this is my second prototype, by the way, this should be fine just the way that it is. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring up the live view camera, and that's up here. So you'll see device manager. I'll click on device manager, and this will show me the actual camera itself. So I'll click on the play button here, And we now have a live view inside of the machine. So right now the machine is sleeping. Everything is completely off. It's totally silent in here until I start the job. It'll automatically turn everything on for me. I'm going to just grab this window and lock it to the top like that. This way I can move it off and on without it disappearing. So for right now, I'm going to drag this off to the side. And we're ready over here to go. So I can just hit process. Now, once I hit process, you're going to see that it has sent the job to the laser, and all I have to do is press that button. So now I'll bring this camera back in over here and maybe make it a little bit bigger like that. And I'll go press the button. What you see right away is the lights have turned on and the camera is going to start focusing for that material that's on there automatically. And I don't know if you just heard it, but the air assist just kicked on. You can hear that little putt-putt in the background. And it has started the engraving. When it gets to the actual cut, the air compressor is going to kick up way up into high so that you get a nice clean cut, and the exhaust fans have kicked on. So we'll let this go ahead and engrave, and I'll speed up the video so it doesn't take so long. So here we go.
Hey there, folks, step right up, come see the show. It's the Louisiana Hobby Guy ready to go. Fast forward, ain't no delay. From the heart of the bayou straight to your place. In the shop with the laser on high. You can see the sparkle in his eye. Cutting wood so fast, it's almost a blur. Whirling projects with a lively stir. Fast forward, y'all, Cajun beat. Clapping our hands, tapping our feet. From gumbo pots to jambalaya, it's a feast. Louisiana Hobby Guy from west to east. Gardens growing faster than a crawfish scoots. Tomatoes ripening the herb shoot roots. Laser projects faster than a gator snap. One blink and you might just miss the gap. Let's sail it on.
All right, noise reduction is off so that you could hear. The dual exhaust fans just kicked into high, and the air compressor also kicked on high so that it can run the final cuts. So I wanted to turn that noise suppression off in the video so that you could actually hear that in the background. And we'll just let it run out in real time. Right now my air quality indicator hasn't changed, so I have been lubricating my chair in here to try and get rid of some of the squeaks with some dry moly lube. And my baseline ppm right now is right around the area of about 500 until that smell clears out. So I have sort of a false reading, but you can see that the parts per million is not changing as it's cutting. You cannot smell any wood whatsoever. So for those of you that are wondering how well the exhaust is on this, it has a really, really nice double fan exhaust. And we're getting close to the final cut now. And hopefully this this is going to be my final prototype, I hope. Now, once the job is finished, the fans will stay on for, I don't know, maybe 10 seconds on the the compressor, and I think maybe a minute or two on the fume extractor, which is kind of a nice feature. So I like the fact that the fume extractor just keeps on working as soon as the job is finished to clear out any of the smell that might be in there. You'll see and hear that in just a minute. I'll take the filter off of the sound again so that you can hear it. All right, that air pump will kick off in a few seconds, and then a couple minutes later the fume extraction, as you can see the double fans in the back, will kick off. So let's see what we got. And there goes the compressor. Okay, the fans just turned off by themselves, and now we are back to the project. So look how clean these cuts are. I'm going to hold these up all together so that you can see just how clean the edges are on this. Not only are the edges clean, but so are the cuts. There's literally no residue left on these cutout pieces. Take a look how beautiful that came out. I'm really enjoying this laser. Even something with a double cut like this, nice and clean. And the final piece is right here. Don't mind this finger. That's from that dry moly lube that I tried to fix the squeak on my chair with, and it's mostly gone anyway. That's a good thing. So here's the trick to this file. This may look like these don't fit properly, but they actually do. So you're going to take your 3 pieces for the base, and you're going to take your front, and you're going to slip these pieces on with the text facing forward. So here's one, and I have not done a kerf offset on this. So hopefully this is going to go on easy enough. And you know what I forgot to do? I did forget to resize. So the file itself is designed for 2.8 millimeter wood, and this is 3.25. So I did make a mistake on that. You do have to resize the slots. I'll go ahead and cut those real quick, and I'll resize them and cut them, and then I'll show you the assembly. Okay, here we go. Okay, so my camera went out during all that, right in the nick of time. So I had to change my camera. But here is the final pieces, and now I think I can do the assembly. And I did use the same piece of wood and the camera to get these cut out. So real quick, and I also forgot, I forgot the penny. So the most important thing, right, is the penny. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not in the camera, if it's going to focus on it, because I don't know anything about this camera, but hopefully you can see it. So that is the penny that I created. And now I can show you the assembly. So we're going to take this piece right here that has the tab on it. We're going to start with the smallest one. And I'm just going to go ahead and hopefully slide this on. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to slide the first one on. Then I'm going to slide the second one on, all 3 of these. But as I go, I'm going to put a little bit of super glue on here, because I want to glue these 3 pieces separately, because it needs to stand off a little bit for the rim to fit around the outside. So I'm just going to take some of my super glue and put a dab on here. And hopefully I don't get it on on the side. Just need a tiny little bit. And now I'll put the second one on, text facing forward. And I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but there is the second one. And then I'll put a little bit of super glue on this one. Hopefully that glue is not going to set up on me. But hey, you know the way these things go when you're doing it live. So there's the second bit of super glue. I'm going to put the bottom piece on now. Snug that up, and it is starting to set up a little bit. So I need to release that. Okay, good. So now that's released, I've got all three pieces of super glue. Let me get a paper towel. This particular super glue will not stick to the paper towel. So I'll try and wipe off as much as I can from there and then bring this down. Okay, so I got a little bit on there. You might want to super glue these separately, but there are the pieces right there. And I want to get it right down to the bottom. The reason why is because I've got this rim that needs to go on here. So I want to make sure that it goes on like this. And you'll see that it sits lower. But when you bring it up to the top, when you glue this in place, there'll be a gap in the bottom there. So that gap is so that you can read the text that's on there. So this is perfect just the way it is. And now all I have to do is continue my little glue up. I've got the bottom set up. It's already glued in place, so that's good. And I'm just going to take my super glue and put a couple of dots on the back of this rim, and then you'll see USA on the bottom. That's the very bottom. So I want to be really careful with this glue not to put too much. And I've already put too much. Okay, but normally I wouldn't use super glue except that I'm making this video. So normally I would use a Pell wood glue, and that's clear. So I'm going to take this rim and I'm going to put the rim on with USA at the bottom. Where's USA? Okay, it's right in front of me. It's already at the bottom. And I'm going to get this lined up as close as I can to get it, you know, what you might call almost perfect. One thing I do like about this super glue, it's not on the market yet, but in fact, it doesn't even have labeling yet, but it doesn't stick to fingers. So, or at least it doesn't stick dramatically to fingers. And now I've got my last part that I'm going to put on the back, and I'm just going to put a few more drops on here without getting this on the hole where the penny goes. So I'll take this one, flip it over, make sure that it's straight up and down, get it in position, line it up, and I'll squeeze it for a moment. And now I've got everything done on this except the penny. That's the last thing that I'm going to do. So I hope you can see that text. Each level has its own text, which is why the base is longer on this, so that you can read it. And then on the back side, you've got the text on the back side. So the only thing I have left to do is the penny, and I'll just put a drop of CA glue in the center here. And I'll go ahead and get my penny. This part is the hard part. You want to make sure that this penny is straight up and down when you do this, because once you get it in, there's not going to be any moving it around. And that's it. I am absolutely finished with this project. This prototype turned out perfectly. Had I not, had I resized those slots before I started it to fit this wood, it would have been absolutely perfect. But here is the final product. So there's the penny in the middle. It's engraved and cut. There are the bottom layers. And this is the back side. Now, I think this looks pretty good the way it is, but I will probably do this on painted wood so that I get something more on the, more like this one here. And again, this one's just a prototype, so I'm not going to waste my painted wood for this one. Just want to make sure this works, and guess what, guys? It works. So hopefully you enjoyed this video today as much as I enjoyed making it for you. I hope you grab the coupon code, pick up all of these files for pennies on the dollars. And I want to thank you for coming along with me today on this ride, making this final prototype. I know that I've already finished this and created the video a couple of days ago. So the file is ready. It's in my online store. Go and get you one. As always, I want to thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.